welcome back to the studio, and I hope that you had a good week and created a lot. We left off last week with, actually a couple weeks in a row, with some intuitive painting. This week we're going to take the sketchbooks that we made a few weeks ago, and we're going to paint the covers. I did this one because this is the small one that I made from the scrap pieces from this one, just to see how the cover would take the paint, and if I could actually film it and do it. So let's get into it and go paint our sketchbook covers. All right, let's get some gesso on this cover. Paint the, whoops, I'm sorry. Paint the sketchbooks that we made a few weeks ago. If you didn't watch that video, you should go take a look at it. It's really easy. Just glue and paper that I have hanging around. We'll get this cover with some gesso on it and let it dry. Oh, you know what I should do? Put a piece of scrap paper. I like to keep a scrap paper around, and then you get some, you can wipe your brush on it or mix or color swatch. And then I use that and create the next piece of art, which I just had a video on that last week, so go and check that video out too. All right, so that's covered pretty good, and we'll come back when that dries. All right, hopefully you can see that okay. You're bungee corded underneath the tripod, so let's start making some marks on this now that it's dry. I literally don't even think about it, just like holding my pencil way up at the top part of the pencil, and let's just see what we get. Should be fun. I like starting out with a pencil at first because it's thin. I like thin lines, I like thick lines. The surface is bumpy because the wet paint, I mean it's dry, but it you know, buckled the All right, let's get some thicker lines on there. We'll graduate up to thicker and thicker. So I pulled these pieces of charcoal out of the fire pit outside. I like them. They're organic in shape. Let me wipe off my fingers so I don't get charcoal all over things. I've already had to clean the phone once already. I've gotten gesso on it, my camera case, and on my phone case I should say, and charcoal. So I'm not a neat painter or creator. I do other things besides painting, and this is not my main form of painting. I actually paint more realism, but I'm trying to get my paintings to have more playfulness and texture. So I am experimenting with some abstract stuff. So that's kind of what my channel, I think, is going to probably focus on, is the messy and playful and wild forms of creating. But I could also, show how I'm going to use these creations and apply them to my final pieces, if you guys are interested in that. Let's see, I got some of these pencils. They're actually broken. That one is. That's okay. They came with their watercolor. I like to draw with watercolor pencils. I think I've said that in past videos, but yeah, I've been doing that for a while. I don't really know. I think that this is probably the brand, but it came with my, I got a light box for Christmas from my in-laws, so that's been fun. I just need to get a different color. I was gonna say I was gonna sharpen it because I do like to draw in hot pink. I find the fluorescent colors are pretty fun. Let's use this color. It's kind of a brown. I was watching artists, and I watch this artist pretty regularly. I just found this artist this year, but she was struggling, and I think that the problem was that she was trying to find something in her mark making too soon. She was making bold marks and being precious about her marks that she was making way too soon in the process. This first layer, it needs to be, it doesn't matter where you make the mark, it doesn't matter what kind of mark, it doesn't matter the color, because the more and more you layer on top of this, you're probably not even going to see these marks, and if you do, they're gonna look different. And in fact, I kind of like the first marks that I make in my final piece, if you can see them, because they do look so different. So yeah, I guess my advice would be to not be precious in the beginning stages. I know that's hard, because I think I was saying that in the last video. I'm like, oh, I liked the flowers in the yellow swatch that I had, and I was trying to save it, and I did end up saving it, but I mean, I was saying that right from the beginning, and I probably shouldn't have been doing that. So let's take some watercolor paints. I have some inexpensive ones that I've been using to try to get rid of. Let's do that. Let's try some blue. I went over my mixing palette. Can you still see that? Okay. No. Whoops, I'm sorry. I can't tell if you can see it or not. Is it even better? I hope that's better. This is watercolor. This is a Essentials Watercolor Prussian Blue. Let's see if we can, like I said, I tend to gravitate towards landscape because that's what I do. I do some still lifes too. I like still life. In the winter months when I can't get out and do plein air painting, that could be fun too if you guys are interested. I want to work on getting the landscape. That's really my goal, is to abstract the landscape and then bring those back to the studio and paint with those as a reference, because I don't like painting with pictures, you know, like from the camera. They don't have the feeling, you know. I wanna focus on painting what I feel, you know, how you feel out in the landscape, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes any sense. I love how the charcoal mixes with the paint, smudges and creates a different color, and I feel like that looks like a cloud. But again, we're not gonna get too precious. Let's see. This is black. I think that you know, a lot of artists that I've been watching that do abstract painting, sorry, I don't know if we can see that now. They tend to make big, bold, black so that way you have the contrast, you know, between the lights and the darks. I think that these sketchbooks that I've made, I did this one and I had to cut it to fit the paper that I was using. So this is the little one that I made from the scraps. I've just been using this as notes. I painted this cover just to see if I could paint it, you know, if that, because it's really glossy. It was a drawing pad Actually, that was watercolor paper. And I used all the paper, but I saved the pad. Oh, I was saying, I want to use these homemade sketchbooks to practice mark making, you know, and what marks I like. I know I like organic marks, you know, that look like trees or grass or for green colors. Ooh, sap green. I know I like sap green. That's a great green that I like to use for trees. I know a lot of artists say, oh, don't use black, and I guess maybe that kind of makes sense, but I find black is great mixer for making wonderful greens, especially when you're mixing it with well, I like it mixed with this green that's creating some really fun green color, even though this is a green, but mixing it with your yellows. I don't want to do too many greens because I was thinking this was feeling winter, like a winter scene. I don't know. Again, we should not all right, let's let that dry, and the next layer will probably come in with some acrylic paints. All right, now we're ready to get in there with some acrylics. I just use whatever I have, nothing fancy these days. Craft paint right now. What? Oh, I know. Let's go in with a palette. Make a different mark. The palette knife. we just did watercolor. So I want to cover up most of that because when it gets re-wet, it will move around. So I want to, oops, I'm sorry. I also want to get some more layers on here because I want to come in here with a scratching, something to scratch. I did do it when I was testing to see if paints were dry, and it was working, but I needed to have some more layers because if you don't have enough layers, then the bottom layers don't show. This is just another place that I make marks. I love to clean off the palette brush. I mean the palette knife on a extra piece of paper. And then next week we'll use this as our intuitive painting. I'm not really sure why I can't get that black paint off. That's odd. All right, so let's come in with some green. Where are my greens? There we go. I hope these look like trees. I'm trying to be abstract, but still, you know, make it readability, you know. I'm going to see if I can cover up some of these words and with some white paint. This is just so right now, so that's not really thick. Not that it has to be covered up, but I just thought that I would see if I can. Let's see. yeah, that's good. That's perfect. And now let's see if I can, maybe I can take this. Oh crap, I just put my hand in my paint. Are you kidding me? I have a there it is. It's just a craft knife. You don't have to have a knife, but I think that I'll hold it up here. And you're only gonna see it in the dark. Paint. I think these look like birch tree stem trunks. Yeah, stems. I do know what they really are. I promise. Oh, the studio dog's home. He went and ran some errands. All right, that looks really cool. So I hope you've painted your covers and stay messy, playful, and wild, and we'll see you next week in the studio.